Yes, good morning to you, Tracy, and good morning to you, Mildred. I am coming to you live from Chira. And of course, before me is the State Minister for Transport and Water and Transport, Honorable Musa Echeru, to speak matters Karuma Bridge. Recently, actually on Saturday, it was announced that today, on Monday, it will start allowing even big vehicles to cross from Kampala, of course, to Gulu. And without going any further, let me speak to the Minister, Honorable Echeru. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining us on the Morning Breeze.
Thank you, NBS. I just want to say that NBS today, formally, we have declared Karuma ready for all the members of the traveling public, right from the light vehicles to the heavy-duty vehicles that are trailers. The reality is that we as a ministry are very glad for the patience that has been exhibited by the traveling public over this month. We did open Karuma formally. We did open Karuma formally in last year on the 20th of December to allow for light vehicles because there was so much pressure from the traveling public, particularly people from the north and the northeast, to access their loved ones as they went for Christmas and New Year. So what was lacking, while the bridge had been fixed very well, there is something that we call the expansion joints that allow the concrete to expand when it is very hot and to contract like now when it is very cold. Those parts had not arrived in the country, so it was not possible to allow trailers to start plying that route because they would cause a major crack on the concrete and that would undermine the integrity of the road, the bridge. So what we did was to allow light vehicles, and I promised the country that we are going to fix this bridge and this expansion joints, and by the time we are doing that, we are going to inconvenience you again. And then we had to inconvenience people again for the last about a month now, and people have been struggling through the park, struggling through the ferries. But I am happy to report that the bridge has been tested by yesterday, and now it is ready to accommodate even the heavy-duty trucks. While we're doing that, I want the members of the public to know that we also were doing some similar expansion joint in a place called Ayago. Ayago is this bridge that when you leave Karuma Junction, you're going to Pakwach. There is that the river where we want to tap some power from. So we have also fixed that. So trailers now that will be going from here, going to South Sudan, going to Arua, can now go through Karuma and go to Pakwach very freely without any inconvenience.
You say you are going to inconvenience us again, and there's information that indicates that like the Ginger Bridge, the Karuma Bridge will also have such a beautiful structure in the future. Do you confirm that?
Yes, what has happened is that the good news is, yes, we have fixed this bridge. Karuma, the way it is now, other things remaining constant, it will now last a minimum of 15 years. This one that we have just worked on, the old colonial bridge. But as government, we also said we must start looking ahead. So some few years back, actually the president directed that we should start planning for a modern bridge, the type that we have, for example, in Ginger. And we did that, and we sourced some partnership from the Japanese under JICA. I am also happy to report that a few days ago, the JICA team and the ambassador signed the financing agreement with the government of Uganda, Minister of Finance, and they are now just going back to their country to do the the necessary, negotiations, like we sometimes go to our parliament for approvals, and then because it's a grant, they are going to source their own contractor, the Japanese, which we welcome very, very much. A design of a modern bridge has already been done. It is going to be a proper aligned bridge to the topography of that area of Karuma, and it will be a suspended modern bridge like the one we have in Ginger. So that is also coming, but this time first, let's talk about the old one. It is working, and I wish the traveling public all the best. and the inconvenience of going through the park, the inconvenience of taking long distances. I really appreciate the patience that has been exhibited. My own colleagues from the north, they were calling me and saying, you people, you are breaking our backs by giving us long distances to move. I apologize for that, but it was an inevitable, inconvenience, something that we could not avoid.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Cheru. Tracy and Mildred and our dear viewer, the Easter holiday is here, and the people who ply that route, the Kampala Northern Highway, Kampala Gulu Highway, will now be free to use the bridge, and it's good news indeed. I will come back to you in the studio. We shall have more of these updates in our subsequent bulletins, NBS Live at 1 and Amasengage and NBS Live at 9. Back to you at the Political Command Center.